Welcome back to the zoo. And up next, we have a guest who is an amazing entrepreneur. He does a lot of amazing stuff for the people, for charities, for Habitat for Humanity. His name is Antonio Sustiel.
Yes, sir.
He's known as the Flooring King.
Yes, sir.
You're an honorary Latino because you're married to a Colombian.
That's right.
There you go, right.
So you were featured on Blue Collar Millionaire,
Yes.
CNBC,
Yes.
for your business, and you're known as the Flooring King. So tell us a little bit about your business and how you ended up on that show.
So my business started 21 years ago with me coming to the United States pretty much with no money. I landed over here pretty much flat broke. I built a mega business, the Flooring King, which is one of the largest flooring liquidation in the world. And Blue Collar showed up. CNBC basically gave me a call. They said that they researched, they saw what I'm doing, and they decided to feature me as a success story for the American people to show them how you can make it in this country big.
You know what I love about Blue Collar Millionaire, that show, is that it shows that you don't have to be some hedge fund guy who moves around numbers on a computer screen, or be one of these people that, like, some of these scam artists that make money just doing something that you don't need, or consider, big pharma. But you're somebody that, you offer a service, a product, and you build it from scratch, in a very honest way. It's honest work, and for you to see success, that's pretty inspiring.
It was a little weird even for me, to come as a very humble guy to this country with no money, with no language, no papers. I didn't even know what I'm doing over here, and all of a sudden build an empire from 0 to 100.
Yeah.
And then CNBC calls me, and then I get phone calls from different networks that want to feature me on their programs. And it was a little weird for me, but I was very humble about all this. But it was a little weird for me to see me coming from a small country and all of a sudden this exposure. So I'm humble. I mean, I'm super.
Because you were just fighting the fight,
I
doing
was
the
fighting,
work, and then you're on television, you're like,
I'm fighting there every day, making a living, and all of a sudden I'm growing and growing, and then I get approached by different people, and then I'm like, wow, this is really the American dream.
Right.
From the beginning, you like you said, you came from very humble beginnings to finding such success. Now you're going to be in Fortune magazine.
Yes.
How do you find that your approach to business has changed as you?
The business have changed a lot, specifically the last couple of years with everything what happened with the epidemic. Is that the whole platform of doing business is completely different right now. We are getting exposed to a lot of different challenges. We're getting exposed worldwide to different rules and regulations, and we're adjusting with all this. And for us to continue grinding is probably the hardest time ever for humankind to be in business. The majority of businesses are going out of business, and if you're strong, you survive. It's a dog-eat-dog society, super hard. And but we continue to do the right thing. I work with the community. I work with first responders. We work with the Habitat for Humanity, the Red Cross. We work with the government to see how we can better people's lives right now. So we're doing good, and I keep praying every day that we'll continue, and this business just will continue grinding and help the community.
So I was going to say, when we talk about an empire, let's talk about the monstrosity of what we're talking about. You have over 350 stores here in the United States.
So right now we are in the process of opening. Right now we have 10 stores. We have on a blueprint to open another 350 stores in the US.
Canada.
We want to go to Canada. We want to go to Europe. The thing is that everything kind of slowed down right now. Europe is still closed. Canada just opened a month and a half ago. And we are finding some challenges right now. That's the reason everything is on hold, is because it's very difficult to get people to work for you right now. There's new rules and regulations. Some states allowed you to open, some states don't allow you to open. So we have it on a blueprint. Even Wall Street is looking at us right now. But we're taking it one day at a time to make sure that we can really grow organic and not just open a bunch of stores and close them. So, but we do have literally the largest flooring company in the world right now, on paper.
Now, one of the things that I think is good for your business is that, do you remember growing up, carpets were big?
Yeah,
that was the platform.
Now people are like, these dirty carpets. We don't want carpets. We want floors.
This is what exactly happened. So I got into the business changing people's carpets. 21 years ago, when I got into the business, everybody in America had carpet.
They wanted the 70s and early 80s out, and all the drugs that fell on the floor, and all the sin that fell
on the money underneath,
stain in the dog.
Exactly.
I think of crumbs. Whenever I think of crumbs, I'm thinking like the Dorito crumbs and
everything. I mean, and the safe deposits and all the drugs, as we said, and everything was on top of the carpet.
And then you got the hypoallergenic carpet.
So as the time moved, people start getting allergic, and the doctors start recommending that carpet is a bad thing for you. Here I am getting into the business, and everything everything fell just in front of me. They need to change their carpet, and I'm the flooring king. I'm like, okay, let's keep grinding. And we did millions of houses in the past 21 years. I mean, we've been doing installation also. So in the past 21 years, I would say that we did so many houses that has carpet that now everybody's, walking on.
And this is
On faux wood.
And were you always passionate about floors? Like, how did you know that?
Not really, not really. The truth of the matter is that I landed in this business 20
Like, how did
years
you look
ago.
at a floor and you're like, I'm going to become the king?
I invented the name the Flooring King because I used to do something else before the flooring, and I landed on the flooring industry about 20 years ago, literally by mistake.
When you arrived here, right?
When I arrived here, I was dealing with perfumes and cosmetics. So the first few years on my business in the United States, I literally started at the flea market. I started selling perfumes and cosmetics on the flea market. And then a few years into the perfume business, somebody offered me some flooring, and I had no idea what flooring is, but I started selling flooring to Latin America, to South America. This was the days that Venezuela was open.
And with a name like Antonio Sustiel, people just assumed you were Latino.
Yeah, that's it. And everybody, Antonio, that's the Greek side of me. And then I was doing a lot of business with Latin America. I did a lot of business with Mexico. We did a lot of business with the islands because we live in Miami. And I don't know, overnight, this became like, forget the perfumes. I'm going into that business because that's what the profit was there. And I also noticed that I'm changing a lot of people's life.
Yeah.
What qualities do you think that somebody has to possess to truly, have what it takes to be successful?
There's a lot to be successful is very easy. All you need to do is a good set mind. You need to set up your mind. You need to know where you're at. You need to know where you're going, and you need to have a plan. At the end of the day, success is something that you need to write down, and you need to plan. You need to make sure that when you succeed, you will know exactly what to do with your success. So at the beginning, all I want is money. All of us, you want to succeed, you want to make a couple dollars, you want to eat better, you want to live in a nicer house and drive a nicer car. Once you hit success, you ask yourself, now what? I hit the success. So when you start seeing what to do with it and you figure out that really success is where you give back, and we start influencing other people, start giving back to the community, I'm huge on the Habitat for Humanities. I'm huge of donations. I'm huge of giving back to young entrepreneurs that have no clue what they're doing today. And I say, I can teach them, I can show them. And if you give that, and this has no return. You don't get any money, but just going out there and preaching to people how to make money and how to be successful and how to impact fresh and new generation. And that's when you figure out when you success. What it takes to succeed is very easy. A set mind, hard work, never give up, continue grinding until the end. Never give up and go the extra mile, because the majority of people quitting, before they get to the end of the line.
Those are amazing words, and we're going to take a break right now. We're going to come back. We're going to hear more of. I want to talk about your early life.
Sure.
In Israel.
Glad.
More with Antonio Sustiel, the Flooring King, right here.
Right here.
What's up, guys? We're back on the zoo, and with Antonio Sustiel, the Flooring King. Now, you were born and raised in Israel?
Yes, I was born and raised in Israel.
And lived in Tel Aviv, the beautiful city of Tel Aviv?
Yes.
Now, you served in the army in Israel?
Yes, I was in the army for 6.5 years. Mandatory in Israel, when you're 18 years old, you need to do 3 years, and I served a little bit more because of what I did. I've been in 2 wars, actually.
What did you do?
I used to disarm bombs in Israel. So,
okay,
my
so you were busy.
Yeah. I was like the bomb squad. When you see here, God forbid, when you see a bomb and you see the guy, wrapped
in the
up,
suit?
got in the suit. That's what I used to do in the army. Actually.
You're the blue wire, red wire guy.
I am the blue wire, red wire that takes his chance every single time.
What was that movie?
There's so many.
No,
movies.
what was the movie that with the female director who won Best Director with the bomb guy?
Yes.
The Hurt Biz? No.
No, I think it was with Sandra Bullock.
Come on, guys.
Oh, Miss Congeniality.
No. All right, going back to serving in. one of the things that I find interesting about Israel, South Korea has this as well because they're on the border with North Korea, is mandatory military service
That's
for
correct.
everybody, right?
That's
Men
correct.
and women.
Mandatory. So women's 2 years, men is 3 years. When
Starting
you
at
turn
18.
18 years old. So I lived in Miami. I was traveling to Miami back and forth as a little kid. And I had an option when I was 17 years old. Stay in Miami and never go back to Israel because you cannot enter the country unless you do the as a born.
Wow.
You can never go back unless you did the military.
Wow.
I made a call to go back to serve the country for 3 years. While I'm serving the country in 1981, there was a war between Israel and another country. So in that point, all of us were so pumped up to defend the country. I signed a couple more years because in this point, I was just instructing new soldiers how to disarm bombs and do all that. So I stayed a few more years, but my background as a military guy is definitely part of my success because I keep grinding hard today, and my confidence getting into anything is pretty much fearless.
Okay, were you ever disarming a bomb nervous that, okay, this might be
I
it?
did not physically disarm a bomb, but I lost a lot of friends in the war
Of
that
course.
did. Thank God, I had I never met a live bomb that I had to deal with, but I saw it and I lost a lot of friends. I lost 9 good friends in the war, actually.
I think I've always said this. I feel like immigrants know what it's like to work hard. Working hard is not the problem. It's like learning the language, learning how to speak English and learning how to negotiate, right?
You come to this country and you don't speak the language, you don't have friends, you don't have papers, you don't have nothing over here. To start from the beginning and make it to be somebody, it's very difficult. I mean, it's double the difficult than anybody else.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a big challenge. But if you believe in yourself, you can do anything.
Tell me about living in Miami. I grew up in Miami. I was born and raised in Miami.
Miami is the best.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of LA. We keep coming over here. We keep vacationing a lot. But Miami is a great place to live. The diversity of people coming from Latin America, the Latinos and the Europeans and us, all of us are immigrants, basically.
Yeah.
So the melting pot of Miami is a beautiful place to live.
No, Miami is very diverse. And I noticed that a lot more Europeans are actually moving there now.
A lot of Europeans are moving. Europe closed in the past year. So you have a lot of people from Europe, a lot of people from the Middle East.
Right.
They come and they park their money right now in real estate. Miami is booming right now. Business is booming. Miami is booming with real estate. So everybody's kind of taking their money and they're buying houses in Miami. So
that's using all the Speedos in Miami. It's
Yeah.
the European people.
Yeah.
Well, growing up in Miami, I remember when we used to go to South Beach, I was kind of excited as a little kid because I knew I was going to see topless women tanning.
Yeah, that's
Because
right.
they allow that on South Beach.
Yeah.
There was a lot of Europeans on vacation, so I was like, all right,
South Beach
Mom, we're going to
is-
South Beach. I'm like 10 years old.
South Beach is a crazy place to be, definitely.
Awesome. And where can people? Oh, you had one more question. We got time for one more.
Yeah, well, you had mentioned the Habitat for Humanity piece.
Yes, so Habitat, I have a big place in my heart. I started my business by getting a phone call from one of the Habitat for Humanities in Des Moines, Iowa, and asked me if I'll partner with them. Habitat for Humanity is basically building houses to people in needs after hurricanes or tornadoes or fires. So they asked me if I'll partner with them and build some homes for people in need. So we built a few homes in Iowa, in Texas, in California, actually. And from there on, I became a member of the Habitat for Humanity. I was the only suppliers of flooring for the Habitat for Humanity nationwide for 15 years.
Wow.
And we build maybe 500,000 houses to people in need for free, just to help the community. And I became famous of the guy that go for the Habitat for Humanity, especially today for first responders, with everything that's happening with the epidemic, doctors, nurses, firefighters, military, police. So that's where my niche is right now. Help the community. I give them flooring literally for free, but the Habitat for Humanity has a big place in my heart because you give back, and that's what success is all
I was
about.
going to say, money doesn't feed the soul, people.
And where can people find you?
People can find me on flooringking.com and in Miami. I have my Instagram, Antonio Sustiel, Flooring King. I got 1 million followers on social media, so please visit me. I'm here to help. If there's anybody in the United States that need any help, contact me. I think I can help you.
Listen,
Like
I gotta say,
King.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say I think that you're the only person in the flooring business with 1 million followers on Instagram.
Yes, sir. Right here.
Awesome. All right, guys, we're gonna take a break. When we come back, we're gonna hang out with artist Levi Ponce. Keep it locked on the Zoo.